Hi everyone, it's Chrissie and welcome back to the channel, or welcome to the channel if you're new here and this is your first time watching. So today we're actually going to be building in Glimmerbrook, and I feel like I haven't built in Glimmerbrook in ages. I believe the last build that I did in this world was my magical bar cafe build, which I will leave linked on the screen. But this is actually the final build for my save file. So not for my whole save file. I'm nowhere near done with the whole thing. But it's the final build for Glimmerbrook for my save file. So the only other build I have to do for Glimmerbrook technically is the Magic HQ in the Magic Realm, which I refuse to count as part of Glimmerbrook because that build I am dreading having to start that build at some point. So for the moment I'm just saying that Glimmerbrook is done because all of the regular houses in the regular world is done. Okay, I'll just pretend that the Magic HQ doesn't exist for the time being, and I will tackle it at some point when I feel like I want to spend several days working on a build, which I don't feel like at the moment. So yeah, we're working on the final build for this world, and it is on a, I believe, 30 by 20 lot, but it's an absolutely gigantic house, so there's practically no yard space whatsoever. There's a little tiny side yard on two sides of the back, and that is basically it. The majority of this lot is taken up by this absolutely gigantic house, which I absolutely love. I do love the way it turned out. I did a few things that I wouldn't normally do. I experimented with some colors, like these windows, for example. They might look very orange at the moment, and when I actually sat down to edit this video, because I started this build ages ago, I mean probably in the first couple of months of last year is when I first started this build, and then I came back to it later in the year to start furnishing it, and then I actually finished it in the past couple of weeks. I actually came back again and finished it, which is why you will see a couple of UI changes in the game. Sometimes I'm using no UI mod, one other time I was using the dark UI mod. So yeah, the UI might change. I believe my reshade might also change up a little bit in a few of the clips. So yeah, just bear with that. It's because this was done over the course of practically 2 years. So yeah, it's one of those builds that I started, never finished, and then recently actually got the inspiration and the motivation to go back and finish it. So yeah, when I was first editing this video and looking back at it, I was really shocked that I actually decided to go with those orange wood windows, because I have never ever used that swatch of the Realm of Magic windows before. I usually go for either the darker wood swatch or maybe the black or the white swatch. I never go for this orange wood. So I was really surprised that I decided to go for it, and I couldn't remember if I kept it, because when I was coming back recently I was just doing the furnishing. I didn't really look at the exterior because most of it was done already. So yeah, I couldn't remember if I had kept it, but then as I went through the footage when I was editing it, I realized, oh, I somehow made it work, and I somehow did the exterior in a way that those orange windows actually worked. So I was really surprised about that, but pleasantly surprised, because I do really love the way this house turned out. It has somewhat of a Tudor vibe to it, with a lot of the wallpapers and stuff that I used from Get Together. But then also it very clearly has quite a magical, whimsical almost vibe with some of the roofing. And then of course with the way that I furnished this house, there's no doubt that you would be able to tell that some spellcasters live here, because obviously it's in Glimmerbrook, so it's going to be for a big spellcaster family. And it's another one of those multi-generational houses that I love building, especially when it comes to my supernatural families in my save. I feel like I really like, incorporating multiple generations of them. So the grandparents, the parents and the kids, or the parents and their siblings and their kids. And I don't like just having like 3 Sims in a house. I feel like, especially for the like supernatural Sims, I want more of them in my save file. And because all of the supernatural worlds like Forgotten Hollow, Glimmerbrook, Moonwood Mill, they're all quite small, so there's not a lot of lots for me to fill with families. So the ones that I do end up putting in the world itself, I feel like I need to make them like quite large families and quite large houses for those families. So just to make it feel more populated and have more of them running around. So I do have a couple of spellcaster families. I believe I have 1 or 2 that are actually in the world bin. Like, they're not in the world, they're not living anywhere, they're just in like the sim bin. I believe I definitely have a couple of werewolf families and households like that, and I believe I might have a couple of vampire households like that as well. I know of one that I did recently that's just supposed to be like in the sim bin, they're not supposed to live anywhere, but I believe I might have 1 or 2 more of them that are just like, they're in the world, but they're not living anywhere, if that makes sense. So they'll show up at lots and your Sims can meet them, but they don't actually have a house. So yeah, that's just what I decided to do with those, just to put more supernatural Sims in my save. I'm someone that really likes the supernatural Sims. I really like them, even in my normal gameplay when I'm playing legacies or anything like that. Sometimes I'll play without supernatural Sims, or I'll have them like kind of like on the outskirts of my legacy, maybe married to extended family or something like that. But in my current save that I'm playing, I started the Not So Berry challenge again, but I started a like revised version of it. So basically a version that's been updated to incorporate a lot of the more recent packs. The colors have changed a little bit as well, so they're not like mint and rose and stuff like that. They're like, you know, blossom and sprout and, you know, stuff like that. So they're a lot more, I don't know, like earthy colors. I don't know how to explain it, but I'll leave the link down below to the challenge that I'm currently playing, just because it's a really nice change of pace from the normal Not So Berry challenge, which I have played and I loved it. But this one is just a little bit more, it incorporates a little bit more of the recent pack gameplay and stuff like that. And in that save, my Gen 2 Sim is actually married to the son, or not, kind of like the son slash grandson from this family. Now, I'm playing in a totally different, like, alternate universe of these Sims, so I just plopped them down from the gallery into my save file when I decided that I needed someone for my Not So Berry Sim to marry. But yeah, so she now has a spellcaster husband, and they've had kids, so they currently have they have 3 kids. The oldest daughter, then they have 2 sons, so the middle son is actually, or like the oldest son, is actually a spellcaster. And then with the way the challenge goes, your heir for generation 3 is supposed to really want to become a werewolf. So the oldest like child, the daughter, is going to become a werewolf eventually. And I don't know, I really like that. I like the idea of incorporating like supernaturals into my gameplay. It's been really fun. So yeah, I don't know why I started talking about my current household. I don't know I'm all over the place, bear with me. But yeah, as you can see, the majority of the exterior is mostly done. There's not a lot of landscaping. I did do a lot of landscaping for how little space I had, but there's not a lot of space on the outside. So there's a swing set, I believe. I do think I end up putting in a planter and then a like little picnic table as well. There's obviously a fountain, and I believe on the other side of the house I end up putting in a fire pit, I believe. So there's a couple of things to do outside. Not super, like, it's not super big obviously, but there's a couple of things to do. but the majority of the activities and things to do on this house are definitely on the inside. So there's obviously that like greenhouse conservatory bit on the side where I have a lot of plants and a couple of planters. I also have the big cauldron in there for my spellcasters. So one of the Sims in this family, let me talk about the family for a bit. So like I said, there's actually 3 generations. So there's a couple of grandparents, the parents, and then their kids. So we have the mom of the family, her name is Love, and she actually has her parents living with them. So Ida and Edric. And Edric is actually a like potion maker. He wants to be a purveyor of potions. I have him registered as self-employed as like an alchemist or something like that. So he's the one that basically uses that like potion making space the most. So that's kind of like his space. But obviously, you know, they're all spellcasters, so they all dabble in potion making and all of that stuff. And then we have the grandmother as well. And then we have the dad, Cedric. So Cedric is actually is basically the head of the house. It's his house, basically. And, you know, he's actually also on the Spellcasters, like, council. So in my save, I do have, like, a Spellcaster High Council, and I have a Werewolf and a Vampire Council. Just, you know, because that's my way of storytelling, and I really like that. So Cedric is actually on the council, and he has, like, an ancient bloodline. So his bloodline is a little bit stronger than his wife's. So of their children, only one of them actually inherited their father's like ancient bloodline. Love and the like other kids all have a strong bloodline. But yeah, so that's the 2 parents. I believe the dad is, let me just look. I do have my spreadsheet open. So yeah, the grandmother is actually a paranormal investigator. So she works as a psychic, medium, paranormal person. The dad is actually a professor, and then the mom is a stay-at-home mom, but I feel like she would probably help out her dad with a lot of like the potion making and kind of like eventually take over for him on that front when, you know, he's no longer there. And then they have 4 kids, yeah. So they have a teenage son, Adam, who my not-so-berry sim is actually married to. So yeah, we have Adam, who's a teenager. Then they have Ellis, who's a child. He's their, like, second son. And he actually is the one that has his dad's, like, ancient bloodline. So if we're going off of, like, you know, who eventually takes their, like, parents' place on the council vibe and, like, going with, you know, that's based on whoever's the strongest takes the place on the council. Ellis is actually the one that would take his father's place on the council because he's technically stronger bloodline-wise than his older brother, which is, yeah, that's interesting. And in my head, that kind of made Ellis a little bit spoiled because his dad would definitely spoil him a little bit and spend more time training him than his older brother or any of his other siblings. So yeah, I feel like that would make him a little bit spoiled, and that does create a little bit of like, not bad blood, but a little bit of like sibling rivalry between the 2 brothers. And then they do have 2 younger daughters. They have 2 twin girls, Amriel and Joan. So they are also, of course, spellcasters, but they're only toddlers at this point. So they're very young. Their powers obviously haven't shown up yet or anything like that. But yeah, in my save file, they're all grown and married and have kids and all of that stuff. But in this, you know, in this house, in this version, in my save, they're still toddlers. So basically, this house has what? Like the grandparents' bedroom, the parents' bedroom, bedrooms for the 2 boys, and then a girl's bedroom. So they have like 5 bedrooms in this house, I believe. There's also a little small office at the front of the house that doesn't really have much in it. There's a piano and a desk and some reading space, but it's not super big. Like I said, the lot isn't super big, so it's only a 30 by 20. So I had to fit a lot in this house for all of these Sims. But we have obviously, you know, the kitchen that you have already seen. It's kind of like a galley style kitchen. And then we have obviously a formal dining room that we're working on right now. We have a big living room space. with obviously TV, all of that stuff. Then we have basically that's all downstairs. We also have the office downstairs as well as the grandparents' bedroom. They also have their bedroom downstairs, and they do have an ensuite. There's also a little half bathroom off of the living room, but the grandparents have their own ensuite. The main bedroom is upstairs. They have their own ensuite as well. And then I believe, I don't know, I can't remember if there's 1 or 2 bathrooms upstairs. I believe it might be 2 if I'm remembering correctly. But you'll probably see it as we go around furnishing all of the other bedrooms. And of course, I will show all of that at the end in the little video tour and all of that stuff. But then upstairs is where we have the main bedroom for the parents. We have obviously all of the kids' rooms as well. The twin girls actually share a bedroom, but it's quite a big bedroom. So I don't think that they would have any like problem as they grow up with there not being enough space. So yeah, they do have that. There's also kind of like a little, almost like skill space upstairs in the landing area where I ended up putting a gemology table. So maybe the mom love, maybe she's really into gemology, so she like stays home, makes some like jewelry, helps out her dad with the potions, all of that stuff. So yeah, that's what she does. And then I believe I put in another computer upstairs, if I'm remembering correctly. But yeah, so all of the kids of course have their own spaces. I wanted the house to feel very like old, but not old in the sense of like Vlad old, like old and dark and creepy. More old in the sense of like a lot of antique stuff and a lot of like some weird looking stuff. There's a couple of furniture items that like they're all different colors. They're all a little bit more, I don't want to say boho because I don't get boho vibes, but just magical spellcaster. Nothing really matches, but it all works together kind of vibe. So there's a lot of browns, there's a lot of red, there's a lot of this like almost like, I don't know, like emerald green blue color that I absolutely love. And then obviously a lot of beige and patterns and just, I don't know, I had a lot of fun with this build. I hope you guys will enjoy it as well. But yeah, so for the kids, we actually, like I said, we have the 2 boys. So Adam is obviously the oldest, and he is a little bit of an overachiever. He kind of like almost tries to overcompensate for the fact that he's technically bloodline wise not as powerful as his brother. He tries to live up to like his parents' expectation, and he always has. He's the oldest, so you know, he always assumed that he would be the one to take over on the council and, you know, all of that stuff, take over all of the responsibilities. And then his younger brother came around and kind of like ruined that idea. But he's still very much an overachiever. He's on the football team and he's very like into studying. He's very into studying. He's very like, you know, he's very studious. He wants to become stronger and be strong, like be a strong spellcaster, all of that stuff. He's also obviously part of the like magical teen club that I have. So in my save, I have obviously the like high councils for all of the like supernatural. So werewolf, vampire, spellcaster. I will have eventually a alien one as well. I don't know if I'll have a mermaid one, probably, once I add more mermaids and aliens to my save. But for the moment, we have those 3 big ones. So obviously I have that. That's for all of like the adults, basically. Then I have teenage clubs for the teenage vampires, werewolves, spellcasters, just to make sure that they can, because we don't have any sort of like supernatural school system in the game, they all just go to regular high school like normal Sims. I wanted something that like not realistically, but you know, in my head, in the lore that I have in my head, they have teenage groups that would, you know, they train together, they, you know, maybe attend some classes or school system or something that is outside of the normal high school, that where they would obviously meet each other, where they would learn about their abilities and learn how to use it, and you know, obviously meet other people from, you know, their communities, stuff like that. So we have a teenage club for the spellcasters, werewolves, all of that. And then I also have a child club for all of the occults. So again, that's just to go with the whole, like, even when they're children, their abilities obviously don't manifest yet until they're teenagers. That's just how the game works. But in my head, you know, when they're children, they would know that, you know, they know that they're spellcasters or werewolves or, you know, stuff like that. They just haven't gotten their abilities. And maybe when they're kids, they already have to learn about, you know, maybe their histories or how to eventually control their abilities or, you know, stuff like that. So that's why I set up those little clubs, and also so that they don't feel so alone, because I feel like maybe if you're like a werewolf and you go to normal high school or a spellcaster or whatever, you might feel a little bit alone among all of those normal, I say in air quotes, normal Sims. So the clubs also give them a way of like meeting the other teenagers and children of their kind, and like making friends among their own, like, I guess, like group or a cult, I guess you would say. Some of them obviously, you know, have friends outside of their occult group. They have normal, again, air quotes, normal Sim friends. They date normal people, stuff like that, but just so that they know each other, if that makes sense. I feel like in my save file, in my brain, the supernatural communities are very tight-knit, and they kind of like, they would all know each other, and they would all, even if they're not super close or friends or like live close to each other, they would all know each other in their communities, and it would be a very close-knit thing. You know, the spellcasters, in my head, the spellcaster council is actually in charge of kind of like maintaining the peace between the werewolves and the vampires and the other occults and the humans. So they're also in charge of like keeping everything a secret, so from like the human Sims. So yeah, that's kind of like the big thing with a lot of these councils. They obviously all have their own laws and, you know, rules and all of that stuff. And again, all of this is just me storytelling, because none of that actually happens in the game, unfortunately. Although I wish it did. I wish we got a more in-depth, like, I don't know, not magic system, but like, I don't know, I don't think we ever would. It doesn't make sense for most people to get this invested with supernatural Sims. I know most people might not like them. Some people love them, some people don't. Again, it wouldn't make sense for the Sims team to go this in depth with anything to do with supernaturals or occults in the Sims games. Obviously that it wouldn't make sense, because a lot of people have different storylines and lore for their supernatural Sims than I do. But again, this is the way that I'm telling the story in my head, and kind of trying to do in my save file. But of course, you know, you can't really, like, you know, incorporate a lot of this like gameplay in the game itself. A lot of it is just storytelling and making stuff up, and that's why I like doing these voiceovers and sharing all of this in the voiceover, because then if you guys watch the video and play with family, you can kind of get a little bit of a backstory to them and kind of understand my like reasoning and what I had in mind for them. Obviously, you know, feel free to disregard all of this and come up with a completely different idea for all of these Sims or any of the Sims in my save. Obviously, you know, my ideas for them are just guidelines, and, you know, you can take it or leave it, basically, and change it up however you want. But basically, coming back to the build, we've already done the main bedroom, we've already done the upstairs little like hallway workspace almost, and we've moved on to the oldest child's bedroom. So this is Adam's bedroom. I did go for a little bit more of a grey and black color scheme in his room, a little bit more, not necessarily modern, but he does have his own TV. He has, you know, a couple more like teenager-y things. He has his own laptop, and then, you know, it's more like, this is kind of like his space. It's kind of like his sanctuary away from his younger siblings, where he can come, he can study, he can, you know, watch TV, play video games, do regular teen stuff, I guess. And then next door to that is actually going to be his brother's bedroom. And yeah, so there's definitely one bathroom up here. I believe there's two. I think there's two. So yeah, there's obviously one bathroom that probably the boys would share, and then there's another bathroom that would probably be for the girls eventually when they age up. And then obviously, you know, the main bedroom and the grandparents' bedroom both have en-suites, so they have their own bathrooms. But yeah, so kind of like right across the hallway from Adam is where his brother's bedroom is going to be. That is also going to be a little bit darker, a little bit more blue and black, and yeah, a little bit darker than the rest of the house, because it's just, I feel like he would have free reign to do whatever he wants. Like, because he is the, like, air quotes, like the powerful one, or like the chosen one. I say with a very big laugh. But you know, he kind of has free reign to do whatever he wants. He's very spoiled. He can kind of basically get away with anything. So yeah, he has this big, like this front bedroom. He has a little like chemistry table. Obviously, he has that really pretty stained glass window. I absolutely love that window from the Realm of Magic pack. But yeah, he has his own desk, of course, and some toys and all of that stuff. In my head, he probably wouldn't be like super young. He wouldn't be like 8 years old. He would be closer to maybe like tween age, or like 10 or so, 10, 11. And yeah, so I tried to reflect that as much as I could in his bedroom. But I love the way it turned out. Even though it's not a super big bedroom, I do feel like it's more than enough space for him and for everything that he needs. And then the last bedroom that we're going to be working on is going to be the twin girls' bedroom, which, like I said, is probably, I think it's the biggest bedroom in the house. And I did that intentionally because they will be sharing the bedroom. And I wanted to make sure that when they age up into children or teenagers, there would be space for them to actually share the bedroom. So there would be space for their beds and maybe a desk and, you know, stuff like that, and not just have it be the perfect size for a toddler bedroom, but, you know, then be too small for the rest of the life stages. So yeah, here we've moved on to the twin girls' bedroom, and like I said, you know, there is space for them to like grow into it if you change up some of the furniture. Maybe, you know, just, I believe if you swapped out the beds as they are currently for a regular single bed, they would even work that way. I think you would still be able to get around them. But in my head, maybe I thought they would have bunk beds or something like that. Maybe get rid of some of the toys as they get older, stuff like that. But yeah, there's definitely space for them to change up the furniture and grow into the room, I guess. But that is going to be basically it for this build. We're going to hop outside really quickly, I believe, after this bedroom, I think, to just finish off the little back patio that we have, and then do a couple of finishing touches on the outside. But that is basically going to be it for the speed build portion of this. But like I said, we will be going into the game in just a second to take a look at it in-game, so that I can show you, you know, the layout and some of the things that you might have missed, and the bathrooms, all of that normal stuff that I usually show in the video tour. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this. You know, if you did, give the video a like, do all of the fun YouTube stuff, like, comment, you know, hit subscribe, all of that stuff. The video obviously will be going up a little bit early for channel members, but it will be going up about, you know, a day later for everyone else. Tray files will be up for channel members, but the video and, you know, the build itself is already up on the gallery if you want to go ahead and download it. All of the download information, as usual, will be in the description. But with all of that said, let's go on ahead and take a look at this in the game. Okay, so here we are in the game. I just wanted to show you guys what it looked like on the gallery. It's called Big Magical Family Tudor. It's 5 bedrooms, 4 bathrooms, and around 239-ish thousand simoleons. So it's very expensive, but it's a very big house, so it makes sense. It also does have a couple of lot traits. It has the Homey, the Penny Pixies, and the Gnomes lot traits, and it is up on my gallery, like I said. But this is what the house looks like in the game. So yeah, this is what it looks like from the front. I absolutely love the way this build turned out. Like I said, it's huge, but I feel like it fits into Glimmerbrook super well. And over here, I don't know why my game is so laggy. Sometimes when you go from build mode into buy mode, it just freaks out. But yeah, over there I have the cafe and, you know, all of the other family homes in the area as well. But yeah, so this is what the build looks like from the front. Let me just get lower. I don't know why the camera is freaking out like this. But yeah, so we have obviously the front. There's not much going on outside. Like I said, we just have the little front walkway bit. We have the little fountain. I do have some bunnies and some birds over here because that just made sense to me. We have a couple of planters. We have a telescope, a little meditation stool. We have the little like outside, you know, swing set, little picnic table. There's a couple of benches over here as well on the little patio space. I don't know why the camera is jumping up so much. I think it's because of the world. But yeah, so we have a grill on the outside. We have chest table, and then over on this side we have a little fire pit as well. And that is basically it for the outside. Like I said, there's not a lot of space outside, so there's not a lot you can do on the outside. But going into the house, so this little turret is just an empty turret. It's just an empty room. There's no purpose to it. But yeah, going inside, you enter through the front door, and then you get into the little entryway, obviously with the staircase that leads upstairs. We have the little living room space with all of the toys for the kids. We actually have the grandmother in here right now and the 2 toddlers. But yeah, so we have the little living room space with TV, you know, bunch of arts and crafts things. We have the new semi-new record player from the Party Essentials kit. We also have the little half bathroom downstairs that just has a toilet, a sink, and a toddler potty, just, you know, because there are toddlers in the house. And then this leads you through into the big dining room space with, you know, lots of seating, toddler high chairs, all of that stuff. And then you can also access the kitchen through this way. That's, like I said, a little bit more like a galley style kitchen. So yeah, let me just get right in here. I don't know why my game is so laggy. I just updated it, and I don't know if that might be why. But yeah, it's super laggy right now, and I don't know why. But yeah, so we have the little kitchen space that I absolutely love. So yeah, we have a kitchen, and then through the kitchen you actually go through these doors and you get to the little magical, I guess, magical conservatory greenhouse space. So yeah, this is where we have the cauldron, a bunch of flowers. I am keeping the walls up so you guys can get like the full effect of it. But yeah, so we have a lot of planters in here. We have another little like rocking chair with some more arts things for like knitting and cross stitch and all of that stuff. And then just some decorative things. And then you can actually access the back patio through this way. And you can access it through the living room and through the kitchen. They both have doors to go outside as well. But going back to the front of the house, we actually have right off the front, we have the little like kind of office space. The mom is actually in here at the moment. So we have a little desk, some reading space, and then just a little piano. And then next to it, we actually have the grandparents' bedroom. So this is their bedroom. This is kind of like in that turret kind of bit at the back. So yeah, this is where the grandparents and then Adam, the teenager's bedroom is. They're both in this like little turret area. But yeah, so the grandparents have their own, you know, fireplace, some magical clutter. And then, like I said, they do have their own bathroom as well with just a shower, toilet, sink, all of that stuff. Now, going upstairs, we have the little landing space where there's a couple of toddler blocks. There's some more bookshelves. There's obviously the gemology table and then another desk for the family to use. And then going through this side, let's go through this way first. But yeah, this is the big bathroom upstairs. So the one that I thought the toddlers or like the girls basically would share. And then I also have the laundry up here as well. And then this is the main bedroom, so the parents' bedroom. They have this cool like built-in headboard bit underneath those gorgeous stained glass windows. They also have their own fireplace, some clutter and some paintings on the walls. And then they also have their own bathroom with a shower, toilet, sink. Then next to them is actually the toddler's bedroom, so the girls' bedroom, so the twins. So yeah, this is their little bedroom. I love the way it turned out. It's so cute and like bright and like, I don't know, just like it looks like a happy, fun place to be. There's also a family picture over there of the family that, you know, if you place this build down and you have a different family living here, that picture will change to reflect the family that you currently have living on the lot. But because I have these Sims here to test it, you know, obviously their picture shows up. But on this side of the house, we have a little hallway that leads you into the bedroom, not the bedroom, the bathroom that the two boys would share. And then we have over here, we have Adam's bedroom. I believe that's a grandfather currently in here. Ignore that. But yeah, so we have Adam's bedroom with, you know, bed, TV, all of the teenagery stuff that you might expect to find. And then right across the hallway, we have Ellis's bedroom, the child. So yeah, this is his bedroom. A little bit darker, like I said, a little bit more dark blue. But I still love the way it turned out, and it definitely fits his vibe. So yeah, he's very smart, so he has a lot of like sciencey stuff around, all of that stuff. But yeah, that is basically it for this whole house, you guys. Let me give you a quick little top-down view. So this is the second floor, obviously. So yeah, we have the second floor, and then we have the first floor as well. And that is basically it for this build. There's no basement or anything like that. But yeah, like I said, this build is up on the gallery if you want to go ahead and download it. Tray files will be up for channel members, and in 3 weeks they will be going up for everyone over on my Tumblr. But I hope you guys enjoyed this build. You know, if you did, give the video a like, hit the subscribe button, stick around if you want to see more Sims content. And let me know what your favorite part is about this house. I think the living room and then the greenhouse are my two like favorite rooms in the whole house. But let me know which rooms are your favorite, what you like most about it. And then also I'm toying around with the idea of releasing another version of my save, because I now have Strangerville, Glimmerbrook and Forgotten Hollow completely finished. So let me know if that's something that you guys would like to see, or if you want me to wait until I have another world done. Like, I'm fairly close with having Newcrest done, and then also fairly close with having Moonwood Mill done as well. So let me know if you want me to wait until I have either one or both of those worlds done too before I release another version of my save. But if you're a channel member, you actually can already access this version of my save file, because I do give channel members early access to my save, so they can already access this save file. I have already uploaded it for them. So yeah, if that's something you want to check out, click on the little join button next to the subscribe button to find out more about channel memberships. But I hope you guys enjoyed this video. You know, if you did, do all of the fun YouTube stuff. Huge thank you to my channel members as always for all of your guys' continued support. This stupid freaking pop-up that just ruined my whole outro, so let's do that again, shall we? But yeah, a huge thank you to my channel members, and I hope you guys enjoy this video. Hope you're all having a great week and a great weekend, and I will talk to you all in my very next video. Bye everyone.